Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, this is just a quick flight. I was messing around in my office today at home and looking through some drones, and I ran across the Hubsan Zino 2. This is not the Zino 2 Plus, this is the original Hubsan Zino 2. So I thought, gee whiz, I bet I haven't flown this drone in over a year. So I thought, hey, it's much cooler today than it's been in Idaho for a while. It is about, it's exactly 8 p.m. in the evening. You can see it's still light, just enough time to get this guy in the air and take it for a little flight. So I charged up a battery charged up perfect, charged up the controller. I updated firmware at home, and so I got the latest firmware installed on it. Let's just get this guy in the air. Like I said, probably haven't flown it in a year or maybe even a year and a half. It's been a while. Let's just fly it around here and see what we can do with it. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Hey, so as you can see here, it is not asking for a compass calibration, but like I said, I haven't flown it for a long time, so I'm definitely going to do that right now. Okay, for some reason we lost the screen recording there. I'm going to start it over again. I don't know why it stopped. I think what was happening is this thing was inadvertently pressing buttons on there, so that's probably what messed it up. So we're going to start that screen recording again. And I did do a compass calibration. You're just not going to see it on the screen recording. And I was afraid the app crashed, and it wasn't. It was the screen recording. It was my phone. So it's saying that we're ready to fly. Let's take a look real quick at that, at the device status list again, and it's you can see the firmware versions there if you're interested, and it's telling us that everything is normal. And I did already, before I left the house, I did a fresh format on that SD card, the micro SD card. And incidentally, it told me it wasn't a fast enough card. It is a SanDisk Extreme Pro, so trust me, it's a fast enough card. I'm going to switch over to video. Cool thing about this drone as opposed to some of the newer Hubsan drones is you can adjust your camera settings before you take off. Video bitrate, it says it's got different grades here, so yeah, we'll leave it up on grade 5, whatever that means. I'm not sure exactly in Hubsan speak what that means. But grid lines are all on, and like I said, we already formatted the card, so yeah, video watermark, that is, when it says watermark on there, that is just on the little thumbnail. It doesn't save that on your regular video. And so I'm glad we saw this resolution. We want to be shooting in 4K. Please, yeah, I don't know what it said there. And I didn't think this guy would shoot in 60 frames. Yeah. Please set the camera resolution. This guy does shoot in 60 frames per second. I did not remember that. So we're going to shoot in 4K 60 frames per second now. That is impressive. I had forgotten that about this drone. Let's go ahead and start recording now. And hallelujah, you can start recording before you take off. And that's, you know, some of the other Hubsan drones, you can't do that. Let's do an auto takeoff on the app. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting to me. As I recall, this drone was not the most stable, but look, I mean, it is perfect. It's hanging there. Well, it's moving around maybe just a little bit right now, but it's doing quite well. There is no obstacle avoidance on this guy. Let's bring it in here. I'm going to bring it down. We're going to bring it into the camera here a little bit, and we're in normal mode. We can get it up nice and close because there's no OA on this guy, and I'm going to show you how that gimbal in action. This is a fast, powerful drone. You know, I'd say this is still a valid product today, and I don't know where you can buy it. You'd probably have to go out on AliExpress or something. I know in the US, you can't, on Banggood, you can no longer buy Hubsan drones, and Hubsan doesn't sell them on their own website. So you'd probably have to go on AliExpress or something like that and search around, but you could probably still buy this drone someplace, and I think it's a valid product. Let's quit messing around and let's do our usual droney, and we're in normal mode, reverse and up now. And you know what? This drone, man, it is powerful and it handles like a dream. And you can see there, that was me cross-coupling a little bit. You can see there that we are close to sundown here. We're looking right at the sun there. So let's just take a quick flyabout here. I cannot remember how fast this guy is. And so we're in normal mode. I am full stick forward. Yeah, looks like we're up to about over 9. It looks like we're going to get to 10 meters per second. That's yeah, maybe even more than that. 11 meters per second. That's just in normal mode. We're even exceeding that. So yeah, that's a good 25 miles an hour or so. And like I said, that's in normal mode. Let's pick up that gimbal a little bit. We got a nice even horizon. You know, this was I wish Hubsan could, and I'm facing away from the drone. I need to face towards it here, signal-wise. So, yeah, I mean, this is the kind of horizon that I used to see on Hubsan drones that they seem to be having trouble with on some of their newer products. But anyway, let's drop that gimbal down just a tad. Okay, so I'm going to go full stick forward again. Again, this is in normal mode, and let's see what it'll do the other direction. See how fast we get up to. Yeah. There again, it's right above me right now. I'm watching the drone. Yeah, shoot, that's you know, about 26, 27 miles an hour, something like that. Let's turn around. Let's throw it into sport mode. I remember this being a very, very powerful drone, but like I said, it's been a while since I've flown it, so it's kind of fun just to try this stuff out. So click once on the controller and we are in sport mode, and again we're going towards the sun. This drone was known for having a lot of lens flare, and boy, I can hear the drone. Holy guacamole, look at that. We're already 16 meters per second, 17 meters per second. Yeah, and I'm going to stop right there. We were over 17 meters per second, and we got had a little breakup on FPV there as I was flying over the top, and you will have seen that on the screen recording. So let's turn around and go back to the other corner. Which, shoot, we got plenty of battery. We're down to 82%. So let's fly to this other corner here. Full stick forward again, and let's see how fast this guy will go. And I remember the sound of this drone. You know, we're used to drones being so quiet now that we forget. Yeah, look at, we're almost up to 19. Are we good? Well, I saw 18.8 there. Yeah, there's 19, and I'm hitting the brakes, and boy, watching that drone come to a stop up there, that is fascinating. Okay, I'm going to go back into normal mode. They have, I guess you'd call it a cine mode or whatever. That F mode is for, it really slows things down if you want to get some fine control. But let's, this is a shot that I always do with other drones so that you can use it for reference. I like going over the top of Discovery School over here and looking off towards the Boise front. Let me kind of get pointed that direction a little bit, do a little bit. Well, that was kind of a quick yaw, but let's get pointed over there. And one of the things that I like about this shot is that you can see the Boise front in the background, and in the foreground you can see that play structure. There's some color there, and the trees down below. It kind of gives you a good look at the camera. And again, we're in 60 frames per second. I want to do kind of a yaw here. 60 frames per second when you're doing a turn always looks better to me. You get a more smooth looking yaw. And of course we're going to face the sun here again, so I'm looking at things kind of darkening up here a little bit. So I'm starting to remember some of the issues with this drone. Let's go over to the cell phone tower here, and let's see if we can do an orbit. Let's drop some height here. I think this cell phone tower is about 35 meters high, something like that. Yeah, and you know, getting the fine control here, I'm trying to yaw it and get it just right. And you can adjust the yaw rates in the in the app, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's see if I can do a an orbit around this guy. So we're going to orbit to the drone's right and see if I can get it done. And yeah, we're doing pretty good. Let me see if I can move in closer at the same time. So to move in closer, I'm kind of holding that right stick up and to the right as I spin around. And we are getting in a little closer. Okay, let's stop right there. And the drone, I'm looking at the drone right, just right next to me here. Let's see if we can, yeah, I'm going to go into that F mode, that film mode they call it. That's what that stands for. And let's go over the top of the cell phone tower. And that gives you, the reason I'm doing that is it kind of gives you a look at what the camera is capable of. And I'm moving forward. It's only 1 meter per second. So it's very slow in this mode. Probably should have left it in normal mode, but one of the things that I wanted to do was kind of get right over the top of the tower here, so you could kind of get a look at it, and that kind of gives you, kind of tells you what this camera can do. One of the things that I remember about this camera is that sometimes when you look straight down like that, it would shake a little bit. And that's not uncommon for a lot of drones. And you know, I'm looking at the drone and the tower, and it looks like it's really close to the top of the tower right here, but it's not. It's way above. In fact, I'm gonna drop the drone down, and have no fear because I'm looking at the drone here. And that looks like I'm right on top of the tower, but I'm not. Like I said, I'm looking at the drone, and it's well above the tower. So let's see if we can do our up and rotate on this guy. Let's see if we can get that shot done. And I'm doing that on that left stick, and I'm kind of basically holding the stick up and to the left stick up and to the left. And the drone rises, and let's see if we can speed it up as we go, and see if I can pick the camera up and do a reveal at the same time. And there we are. Pretty tricky. Okay, we're going to go back into normal mode here. I'm telling you, I'm enjoying the heck out of this drone. This thing's flying great, and I can tell you, on FPV, it looks good. You know, man, oh man. Like I said, one of the things that I forget is how fast how loud the drone is. Let's get pointed away from that sun and get the best picture with this guy. Pick that camera up, and you can see it's partly cloudy, so this is a very challenging camera environment. So one of the things that you can do is with this guy is yeah, we're still at 60% battery, so we're in plenty good shape. I'm going to do an automated orbit around the tower here. And how we're going to do that is I'm going to click on that little, looks like an X or a drone up in the top left, and we are going to go into orbit mode, and click, I got it on that. And we're going to, let's see, I forgot, I have to send, okay, so I'm going to get out of that. I'm going to get out of this. I forgot how to do this. I have to go over the top of the tower, and I was thinking it was like a DJI drone where you set the point of interest by drawing on the screen, but in this case you go over the top of the tower. So I'm going to go, and that will be the center, And let me go over just a little. Yeah, that's going to have to be good enough. And we're going to go back in there, and we're going to go into orbit mode. I got it. And we're going to set the remote or the drone's current location as the center point. And next step is we have to back it off. So, and you'll see that number in that 0 in red there. As soon as we get out over 5 meters, and that's me picking up the camera, you'll see that turn blue. So then anything past that, I can set that as the center. So let's just do it right here, 15 meters. And let me pick up the camera just a little bit, execute immediately. And we can change the speed, and you saw me do that on the screen. I got up to 2.8, and let's hide that. And the drone will just do a perfect orbit around there, an automated orbit, which, I mean, like I said, that is a handy thing. You saw it when I was doing it manually. This guy will just do it perfect this way. And the other thing that I can do, I can click on that again, and I can change directions. I can switch it the other way and watch the drone reverse directions here. And see it go the other way. And we're going to hide that on the screen. And there's the drone going the other way. Pretty cool. The other thing that you can do with this guy is if you're out someplace and you want yourself to be the center of the orbit, you can tell it to do an orbit around the controller, which is can be kind of handy sometimes. So yeah, I mean, geez, I'm well pleased with what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and stop that. Exit, and you'll see it stops there. And let me bring it back to us, and let's take a look at some of the other things we can do. I think we can do some other automated things with this guy. I know it'll do a waypoint mission. Heck, let's do that. Why not? Let's do a quick waypoint mission. I've got the drone pointed the wrong direction here, but let's go into there. Let's go waypoint mode and waypoint mission planning, and this is going to be really easy. We're going to go. I'm just going to add, and I'm going to do with the dots there, and I'm going to go one there, go to that corner, go to that corner. Let's go over Discovery School, and then back in front of us. Well, that was, yeah, that's good enough. That should be right about on top of that cell phone tower. So we are going to, and I could set something for it to focus on or whatever, but let's just let the drone look straight ahead, and I'm going to click upload here. Upload successful, and we're going to start, and the drone is just going to execute that mission. Let's go ahead and go back into here so you can watch it happen. And I see it's going to its first waypoint right now. And I'll show you on the map here as you'll see the drone. Yeah, now it's at its first waypoint, and it's turning around going to waypoint number 2. Hey folks, this is something you cannot do with a DJI drone. DJI, well, you can with, I think the Mavic 2, I think they had waypoints in some of the older ones, but anyway, this guy is doing it, and you know, at about 6 meters a second it's traveling, so not super fast, but it's definitely doing it. You know, kind of a handy thing. And we're at 42% battery, so by the time this thing gets done with its waypoint mission, it'll be about time to land. Just some statistics. We've got 18 satellites. Yeah, I mean, we got full signal strength. And I think I think there is a way that I could have sped it up a little bit faster. So this guy's definitely, you know, I would have liked to have maybe gone a little faster. So there, it's at number 2, heading for 3, down to 40% battery. So I'm going to go back to the screen here and look at the screen, and yeah, you know, it's definitely starting to get dark, so we'll definitely challenge this camera a little bit. So let's see if it'll get through this whole mission on battery. We're down to 38%. I believe at 25%. Don't quote me on that. It's 25 or 20. It'll want to go into automated return to home. So we'll see what happens. It is on its way to number 4, and that's a pretty good trek there. But that's got the sun in its back, so we'll get the best out of the camera that way. But yeah, there's just a ton of features on the Zino 2. It's a forgotten drone. Now, one of the things I wanted to say is I remember that it used to, sometimes you would see micro shakes in the gimbal, especially as the drone came to a stop and often as the gimbal was pointed down. So we'll see if we see that on anything like that on the SD card when we get this thing back. But in any case, let's, well, it's almost to number, what would be number 4 here. So there, I brought the map up so you can see it on the map. I'll just leave that map up for the rest of the flight here till we get to number 5. And then we'll run it out and we'll just try return to home. And it, you know, we didn't use a landing pad today, so it's not like it's going to, like the drone is, you know, it's going to land spot on the pad, but we'll see how close it gets to the takeoff point here. Drone is on its way back to waypoint number 5, coming back from Discovery School. And boy, look at that. It looks like it's heading straight for that cell phone tower, but I know we're high enough that we're above it. And there I see the drone, and it's off to the side of the tower and well above it. And we should be almost there. And boom, there is number 5. Let me drop that gimbal down so you can see us. Okay, let's bring the drone in. See how fast we can get it to drop. Now, I'll be anxious to look at the video right here, because this is when often you would see shakes in the video. Okay, so let's see. We're at 29% battery. Let's go ahead and go up again, and again in normal mode. And let's just let's fly it around till we maybe we can see till it goes into an automated return to home. There again, boy, over 9 meters per second just in normal mode. Looking right at that sunset there. Sun will be going down pretty quick. I'm telling you, the foreground looks pretty dark on FPV. I'll be anxious to see what it looks like off the SD card. And that's me turning it around here. Yeah, so it's wanting to. It's going to go. It's counting down, as you can see, and we'll go into return to home here. So we're just going to let it do it. We're going to let it count down, and that is at what? Yeah, 25%. So 25% battery. So kicked it into return to home. I'm having fun here. Like I said, this is a drone I haven't flown in probably a year, and you know what? It's performing great. It's doing some pretty cool stuff, and we're shooting in 4K 60 frames per second. I'm just trying to remember. I don't remember when this drone came out. I didn't realize that it shot 60 frames per second, but clearly it does, or is that something that they added in a firmware update? I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at some of my old videos to probably tell you, but yeah, pretty cool. So there we are down there. You can see the Tahoe. You can see me standing there. Got that camera pointed straight down. Looks like it's right on its takeoff point there. And I'm pointing the antenna up at the drone. Often when a drone is right above you, you can lose contact with it. So I'm pointing the flat part of the antennas up so it gets so it gets a good connection. And it looks like it's gonna, that's right where we took off from when you look at the X there. So pretty cool. And it's kind of adjusting a little bit. Yeah, it's almost coming down right on top of me here, folks. I'm backing off. Let's pick up that camera. I'm trying to pick up the camera. Let's see if it'll pick it up itself. Yeah, it did not pick up the camera. But it's giving me a message to stop recording here. So I just wanted to point the camera up to see how close. Well, in fact, I'm moving the Action 2 here so you can see where the drone's at. I mean, it's right in front of me. So it's asking me to stop recording. So I'm going to click on that, and it stopped recording. And what that does for you is it keeps you from corrupting a file. So anyway, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Okay, I walked out here where I could get just a little better light to do this conclusion. The sun is right in my eyes, it's just going down. Hey, so the Hubsan Zino 2, I'm trying to remember when this drone came out. It's at least a couple years older, maybe older than that, like 2.5 years old. Oh, and I see I haven't got the, I don't have this quite in correctly, the gimbal cover. That's gonna drive me crazy, so I've gotta fix that, folks. The secret to this guy was to go straight up with it, as I recall. There we go. I got it in right, and I remembered how to put that gimbal cover back on. Anyway, so we proved that it's a powerful drone, right? We got up to 19 meters per second in sport mode, which is, that's over 40 miles an hour. That's, I think, 41, 42 miles an hour. That's it. You know, it's a fast, powerful drone, and we shot in 4K 60. Now I want to look at that video off the SD card. It's been a while since I've looked at video off this guy. I know I've been a big fan of the Zino 2 Plus, but this is just the regular Zino 2. It's the one I remember. It was really hard to get way back when, and I think from the time I ordered it till I got it was like 3 months or something like that. I remember it was pretty crazy. But I can tell you, still a solid drone today. You saw the feature set on it. You saw how it flew. You saw the speed. We did a waypoint mission. We did an orbit with it, and as well as flying it around. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I'm going to tell you, if you are looking for a full-size drone, you can probably still find these on AliExpress, or certainly on eBay, I'm quite sure. I'm sure you could find a used one or even a new one. Man, I'm saying it's a solid product. So anyway, that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yes, we will see you on the next one. Talk to you later. Bye now.